All right, today we are diving deep into something that's probably shaping your life more than you realize, the TikTok algorithm. We're going to unpack the incredible psychology that makes it so impossible to put down. But more importantly, we're going to reveal how you can actually use its own secrets against it to build discipline in your own life. Just let that sink in for a second. That's a reportedly leaked statement from inside TikTok's parent company. And it just sets the stage perfectly, because it shows this isn't just about fun videos. It's about a deliberate, powerful intention to capture and hold our attention. So the real question is, how on earth do they do it? Well, that brings us right here. This whole thing, it's not an accident. It's not just a lucky break. It is a product of incredibly careful, deliberate design built on a really deep understanding of neuroscience and, what makes us tick. But what's so fascinating is that the story of TikTok didn't start with some grand evil plan to addict the world. Actually, it started with a complete and total failure. A failure that led to a light bulb moment about how our brains really work. To get it, we've got to rewind the clock a bit, because the origin of the world's most addictive app, it began with an idea that was the exact opposite, an app for education. So picture this. It's 2013, and an engineer named Alex Zhu launches an education app called Cicada. The idea was simple, right? Teach people complicated stuff with short 3 to 5 minute videos. But it completely bombed. Nobody was finishing the videos. So feeling defeated, Zhu is on a train, and that's when he has his big aha moment. He's just watching teenagers, being teenagers, listening to music, taking selfies, posting stuff online. And it hit him. You can't fight human psychology. You have to work with it. So he pivoted, creating Musical.ly for lip syncing, and boom, by 2018, it had 100 million users a month. Musical.ly had totally cracked the human psychology part, but it was missing two things: the money to get huge and a truly world-class AI to power recommendations. And that's when a company called ByteDance came along. They had exactly that. When you combine Musical.ly's brilliant human-centric design with ByteDance's scary good AI, well, you get the perfect storm we all now know as TikTok. Okay, so this brings us to the real meat of this thing. What are these secret psychological principles that this powerful combination unleashed? What is it exactly that makes that algorithm so unbelievably good at keeping us hooked? It boils down to 7 of them. 7 core principles of neuroscience that, when you weave them all together, create one of the most addictive digital experiences ever made. Let's break them down, one by one. First up, the frictionless start. The idea here is so simple, we humans will almost always take the path of least resistance. There was this famous study on organ donation, right? They found that countries where you have to actively opt out of being a donor have way, way higher donation rates than countries where you have to opt in. Why? Because it's just easier to do nothing. TikTok nails this. You open the app, and a video just starts playing. Instantly. There's no login, no menu, no what do you feel like watching. Before you can even think, you're already in. Number 2 is full screen immersion. Now think about other apps for a second. You've got sidebars, suggested videos, notifications popping up. TikTok, it throws all that junk out. The entire screen is just one video. This is a psychological hack. It removes all distractions and pulls you into that flow state where you get so absorbed in what you're doing that you completely lose track of time. It's designed to capture 100% of your focus. And number 3, no stopping cues. This one is just wild. There was this experiment where they gave people bowls of soup. One group got a normal bowl. The other group had a bowl that was secretly, slowly refilling itself from under the table. The result? The people with the bottomless bowl ate 73% more soup. They never got that visual cue that said, hey, you're done. TikTok's infinite scroll is that bottomless soup bowl. There's no end to the feed, so there's no signal to your brain that it's maybe time to, stop. The 4th principle is variable reward. And this is straight out of the addiction playbook. The researcher B.F. Skinner found that lab animals would press a lever like crazy if the food pellet it gave them was unpredictable. Sometimes a treat, sometimes nothing. It's a slot machine. And that is exactly what the TikTok feed is. Every single swipe is a gamble. The next video could be lame, or it could be the most amazing thing you've seen all week. That maybe this time feeling is what keeps you swiping. 5th, we've got the compressed reward cycle. Now this is crucial. Our brains release that feel-good chemical dopamine, not just when we get a reward, but in anticipation of it. Because TikTok videos are so short, that little cycle of, ooh, what's next, and potential reward happens over and over every few seconds. It trains your brain at lightning speed to associate the app with a constant drip, drip, drip of tiny dopamine hits. Principle number 6 is cue conditioning. This is basically Pavlov's dogs, but for your phone. You remember Pavlov, right? He rang a bell every time he fed his dogs. Pretty soon, the dog started drooling at just the sound of the bell. TikTok does the exact same thing. Those little notification sounds, the trending audio clips that you hear everywhere, they become triggers that your brain links to the reward of the app, creating an actual craving to open it. And finally, number 7, the micro-investment loop. The app is constantly nudging you to make these tiny, effortless commitments, like a video, follow someone, leave a quick comment. Each action seems like nothing, right? But they're all tiny little investments of your energy. And the more you invest, even in these small ways, the more committed and, well, invested you become in the platform as a whole. It's brilliant. Okay, so that's the system. It's incredibly powerful, and it's all designed to keep you scrolling. But here's the twist. Here's the fun part. What if we could take these exact same principles and reverse engineer them? What if we could use them not for distraction, but for discipline? Let's see how. Let's take that frictionless start. Instead of letting an app autoplay, use it to crush procrastination. If you're writing something, try this. Stop before you're done with a thought. Leave the last paragraph half finished. That way, when you sit down tomorrow, there's zero resistance. You know exactly what to do. And for full screen immersion, create your own. I like to call it a single battlefield environment. When you really need to focus, put your phone in another room. Close every single tab on your computer except the one you need. Give your brain only one thing to look at. How do we fight no stopping cues? We create our own. Instead of looking at a project as one giant, endless task, break it into clear versions. Version 1 is just the messy first draft. Version 2 is for structure. Version 3 is for polishing. Each one has a clear finish line. And for variable reward, don't just wait for the big prize at the very end. Make your rewards small and immediate. You just finished the first section of a report? Awesome. Take a second, lean back, and actually feel good about it. That little celebration is a reward in itself. To make your own compressed reward cycle, use a simple checklist. Break your work down into the tiniest possible tasks. Super small. Every single time you check a box, you get a little hit of dopamine. Suddenly, your brain is getting rewarded for making progress, not just for finally finishing. And to use cue conditioning, link a new good habit to one you already do automatically. For instance, create a little mantra, produce before I consume. Say it and then do it right after you brush your teeth every morning, before you even think about looking at your phone. And this all leads to the final, and I think most powerful idea. You can take all of these principles and use them to design your very own personal algorithm, a system that's built for getting your stuff done. Let's use that last principle on a problem we all have. Want to start that big project you keep putting off? Use the micro-investment loop. Step 1, just create a new folder on your desktop. That's it. That's a tiny commitment. Step 2, inside that folder, create a new document, another tiny investment. Step 3, open that document and write one single sentence. See? Each step is so small it feels like nothing, but together they build momentum and just shatter that initial resistance. You've done it. You've started. So here's the bottom line. The very same psychological forces that are so expertly engineered to capture our attention can be understood, they can be flipped around, and they can be used to build focus and discipline in our own lives. The algorithm is ridiculously powerful. The only question left is, who's going to be in control of it?